At university we study science. Everything we do is scientific. And some of you also study a little bit of philosophy. But what is the difference between science and philosophy? Well, that's what I'm going to try to explain now. Science is an endeavor to gain knowledge which is as reliable, as probable as possible. Science is an endeavor to describe the world by using the best methods which are available at the moment, and that can change during the times. So science is descriptive. Philosophy, on the other hand, and especially the branch within philosophy which is ethics, deals with how things should be, that is normative. So descriptive versus normative, that is, I think, the biggest difference between the two subjects. And in general, you can think about yourself, about how do I know what is good and what is bad. And then you can think, okay, if I would use the scientific method, what kind of science, what kind of experiments should I do to learn what is good or bad? Should I look through a telescope? Should I look through a microscope? Should I go to a laboratory? Where can you study what is good or what is bad? Well, the answer is you can't. And if you think you can get the Nobel Prize, so that's also fine with me. But science can be descriptive. It can also describe human behavior. It can describe how things are. But in order to know if it's good or bad, you need a moral value judgment, and that value judgment can be given by ethics. But it's not the only thing which can give you normative judgments. It can also be like personal intuitions, or your culture, or religion. And the difference with these three and ethics is that ethics is a rational endeavor to make look for the most consistent, coherent, rational answer to that, which is in principle universal, so that anyone can agree to it if you would understand all the steps. So that is what ethics is about. Another dimension of philosophy, so apart from the normative dimension, is that philosophy also reflects on the scientific method. And that is called philosophy of science. Philosophy of science, so it's not scientific itself, it does not generate new knowledge, but philosophy of science reflects on the methods of science, one, and two, on the outcomes of science. What does it mean? How can we make a whole worldview from that? So that is the importance of philosophy, because if you only do science, you might not understand why these scientific methods are so important, why they are so different from other methods, why they are so difficult to learn, and how these different outcomes relate to each other to a scientific worldview. And more importantly, we need ethics to find out if we use science and the technology in a way to make the world a better place and not a worse place. So it's essential, I think, that we not only do science at university, but philosophy as well.